Welcome to the Lindsay and Tony podcast, where we talk about spirituality, business, and life experiences.
In this podcast, we're bringing our private conversations to you.
We believe that it's through discussion, action, and reflection that true change occurs. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 122. If you stop learning, this is what happens. We're so excited for you to listen to today's episode, but first, before you do, I want to keep you updated. I have a bunch of online classes coming up, all about mediumship. So I have a class for beginners in mediumship and also intermediate and advanced mediumship online workshop. You can go to lindsaymarino.com to get more info. And my fall mentorship is just around the corner also, so you can sign up for that and get more info. So in today's episode, we talk all about the benefits of learning and then also what happens if you think that you're completely done learning. So we can't wait for you to hear this episode. Hi guys, welcome back. We're so excited that you're here. Today's episode is all about what happens when you stop learning. This is a good topic for us to talk about. Since it's fall, this is a time where all the kids are going back to school or they're online virtually learning. Or they're online virtually learning.
Right. And we were teachers in this public school, so this is an episode we can make every single week. This is why we do our podcast in the first place, is because we believe in lifelong learning. And like Napoleon Hill talks about in his book, Think and Grow Rich, specialized knowledge. Yeah. Which is specific learning, getting very specific in your career, with your relationships, with your own unique problems, and getting that knowledge.
Yeah, and that really is huge. And if you think that you're done learning, that's when you know, okay, wait a second, I have to go all the way back to the beginning. Because all of the top coaches and speakers and everyone out there that's really doing well, they have a coach or they have continued learning in some way. So we actually came across a study, and Tony can kind of describe that study about the hospital and what they found with people dying on surgery tables.
Yeah, but before I do, let me tell them what happens if they don't continue to learn. You become a know-it-all, like Lindsay was just saying. If you stop learning, you become a know-it-all, and you think that you know everything, and you find yourself in a dark vortex eventually, because that'll lead you, whether it's in your business or your relationships, it'll lead you downhill. It'll lead you in the wrong place, actually. Mm-hmm. So going back to the study, what Lindsay was talking about is, it actually goes with being a know-it-all. So the study is about this guy named Adewale Gold. I'm pretty sure it's how you pronounce his name. But he was paid to reduce the number of deaths that were happening on the surgeon's table. So what he did was he realized there was three key problems that happens that cause people to die on the surgeon's table. And problems with technology, problems with knowledge, and problems with ineptitude. And what happened was, the problems with ineptitude is when you get highly intelligent people that think they're too smart or too qualified to do the simple things. So what Adewale Gold, what he did is he did a little experiment to where he enlisted all these different checklists that the doctors, the surgeons, the nurses, all the assistants, they would all have simple checklists for every surgery that they did.
Yeah, before surgery, during, and after surgery.
And what happened over time, I think it was over 1 year time, is the death rate went down by some crazy amount. I think it was either 60 or 70%. The death rate went down on the surgeon's table, all due to getting these highly intelligent people, these doctors, to start to implement simple checklists into their routine. And the thing about it is at first blush, a lot of the doctors, they were hesitant with this. They were saying, I can't, I don't want to put any more work into the work that I'm already doing. How are those simple checklists going to help anything?
And they were taken back too, because they thought, well, we went to school for how many years to be a doctor? So they really took offense that they were given these checklists.
So this goes perfectly with this podcast episode. What happens to you when you stop learning, or when you, in another way to say it, when you reach a point in your life, whether you're a doctor, you have a PhD, or you already have a highly successful business or a successful marriage, you get to the point to where you can get to the point to where you think, oh, I already know it all and I don't need any other adjustments. But here's another thing that we know on the flip side of success is what got you to where you are today, whether that is a doctor, highly successful, those same things, they won't get you to the next level of success. And that's why continuous learning is crucial.
It is. And I think right now, at a time that we're in, a lot of people are searching for meaning with their life, their purpose, if they even want to be in the job that they're doing right now, if they want to be in the career that they're in. So I think this is a time to really go inward and figure out, like, what is it that you want to go further with learning. And I know for mediums right now, there's a common thread with mediums where they're confused on, can I do this work right now? You know, there's high energy out in the world and they're reevaluating things. And one thing that I've told my membership members for mediumship is to take that time to really feel the balance of when you need to learn, when you need to go inward and educate yourself and reflect on what you're feeling too, and bringing that all together. Because sometimes we can rush into the next thing and we don't take time to learn and figure out, why am I feeling this way? Let me do some research and figure out how I could go deeper with that. And it may even be something as simple as really self-care and changing your schedule when it comes to work.
That's a great point. I noticed the same thing, because a lot of you that listen to this podcast or watch it, a lot of our clients, most of our clients, they're people that they are professional manifestors. Like, they understand how to manifest pretty much anything that they desire to manifest. They already believe this. They've been studying this information for years. They've been practicing it. What comes to play, what I've seen a lot in my clients' lives, and what we hear from a lot of you that message us back on the podcast, is you believe that you can manifest everything. You already have a track record of it, but you have this other thing that comes up inside of you. And it could be from past traumas. It's definitely from the past at some point, but it's from some life experience. It's from some negative or positive circumstance that you've had in your life, to where, mostly negative, to where this energy will come up inside of you, and it's actually hindering all other areas of your career. So like Lindsay was talking about with her clients, psychic mediums. Well, some of them, if they are struggling in their career or building up their psychic medium business, some of that, or a lot of that, what we've found in our experience, is tied to them not wanting to deal with the internal, not wanting to deal with those traumas that are coming up inside of them, not wanting to deal with that energy, whatever it is, we could call it mindset, the mind state that comes up inside of them, that starts to pull on them, that starts to try to stop them from being the professional manifestors they are. I said all that to make a point that when those things come up inside, it's so important to stare them straight in the eye, to reflect on it, to go through it, to feel it, and then also get specific education, read the specific books, and get the specialized knowledge that oftentimes you need to overcome that.
Yeah. And I think it's easy to do well at a skill if you practice and if you read and do those different things. But I really feel like you said, it does come back to the mindset. And I know I've fallen into the trap of, having that negative self-talk. Like, am I good enough in this situation? Should I do it this way? And then I think about fears. I remember at the very beginning of putting myself out there for business, I've shared this story 1,000 times before. All of my students know this, but I had a flower for my business page. I got so much resistance from my own mind that came up, that got in the way. Probably more resistance than I got from the outside world. Really, if I think about all the situations, I had more positive situations that came up. But if you have that one negative person that comes up in the background along with yourself, that can take over everything. And I think that comes with mindset. So obviously as humans, we are going to fall into those traps at different points, but that's where the learning comes in. We're always reading books. We're always taking time to navigate through feelings and not ignoring them and going deeper. And that's part of the learning too, that I think is important.
It definitely is. And it's fun to learn about building a business, to learn about all the positive things, manifestation. And a lot of times, we as people, we could get stuck there to where we're constantly studying the positive things. And we ignore the dark side of ourselves. And I think that's the huge thing in this episode too that we want to get across, is to educate yourself there too, into the dark side of yourself, and dive deep into there, even though it's not always beautiful and fun, and it's painful at times. But that's where the real growth actually happens. That's where, in my experience, the breakthroughs happens with my clients. The breakthroughs happen within myself, is whenever I deal, because a positive is easy to deal with, but when I deal with that negative emotion that comes up inside of me, that negative pattern that continuously comes up, and I focus on that straight on, I notice that has the most transformational effects in every area of my life.
Right. Yeah, that's huge. It brings me to a point too that we've found also we've had an amazing mastermind with amazing women that are psychic mediums and entrepreneurs, and we had a 90-day business mastermind, and it was powerful. It was about business, but it was also about personal things that affect business too. And without sharing details, I'll just say that one of the things that none of them struggled with really was working. Like, they always wanted to learn more. They always wanted to work. They always wanted to get stuff done, which was a good thing. And maybe you listening, you're a learner. You're wanting more information. But just like getting more information, it is about slowing it down. And sometimes learning and educating yourself could be as simple as turning one page in a book to read in the morning and setting aside that time for yourself in the morning. So I just want to bring that up too, because a lot of people listening, they are learners, you know? So just think about that. It's not to bombard you with things to sit and study for 8 hours. Yeah. It's to really think about the deeper meaning of learning and what it's for you, you listening right now.
Well, I think you said it perfectly too, slowing it down too, rather than trying to go from book to book or from this podcast episode to this and getting all this information. And one idea would be, maybe as you're reading about negative beliefs or blind spots, and all of a sudden you see a blind spot inside of yourself. Maybe the blind spot is you have a fear around money. Well, instead of reading forward, maybe pause, and then maybe over the next 7 days, don't read anymore. Don't read any more about that, and just take that information, and for the next 7 days, you're going to look at all the areas in your life to where that negative talk or that negative feeling or that negative belief around money pops up, and you just take notes for the next 7 days.
I love that idea, because that really does bring it to slowing down. Yeah. And for someone that is very good at getting things done, being a go-getter, and wants to finish everything, that could be really hard. That process of stopping and slowing it down and not reading the next chapter when you want to go on. But it is about slowing it down. And I think the book, The Surrender Experiment, really helped me with that. I just finished that in the summertime, and it was just one of those books that was very eye-opening for me. I think The Shift is a good example of something like The Surrender Experiment by Wayne Dyer. But those books will be those things that kind of slow you down. So it's something to think about. We would love for you to share with us anything that pops out to you, or anything that you've been wanting to learn about, educate yourself on. Now is the time. Share it with us, even if it's something that doesn't make sense. You're like, I don't know why I want to take a photography class, but I'm interested in it. Do it. There's a reason for this.
Right. Share with us any new books that you've read this year that transformed your life, or any other thing that you're learning, like Lindsay said, a photography course, some kind of online course. Share in the comments below, just so we can get some ideas.
Right. And this is the time to use this energy, ride on the energy of the kids that are excited about learning and school. It's perfect time to jump in on a new opportunity. Okay, we will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. If you liked it, leave a 5-star review on iTunes, and remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel too.
If you can think of anyone else that would love this episode, share it with them right now on social media or email. And remember, getting results is a process of learning, applying, and reflecting. Stay consistent and continue to grow every day.